Yo, yo. What's up, boys? I'm back with another one, man. You know what I mean? It's been a few days, so I got all types of, information, ideas, and downloads. You know what I'm saying, from the big homie. So I feel like I could make 50 videos right now if I wanted to. No, I'll probably make this one and then call it, three. I just made three of them, so um, yeah, you know what I'm saying. We'll see what happens. I'm about to make a podcast tonight as well, so shout out, a little promotion. Go check out our podcast, you guys. Unchained on Spotify. It's called the Unchained podcast. It's with me and my boy Spirit War Martin. It's all about semen retention, putting God first. Our experience with life, on this journey. It's for people on semen retention, on self-development, putting God first, and, cutting out bad habits. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. This video I want to talk about, something I was just talking about with my homie last night, and it's actually about moving in silence, all right? And how, you stop getting validation from other people, and essentially, it's between you and God, and moving in silence and what that looks like, because going on semen retention will get you into a place to where, you feel a certain way about yourself. You're starting to get more self-worth. You're starting to feel better about yourself. It's going to help you transform the way that you think, you guys. I like to say it a lot. You have a whole new reality, a whole new way of thinking when you go on semen retention. So everything is different, you know what I mean? And especially if you guys have, if you're putting God first. I'm a Christian. I believe in God and Jesus, and I read the Bible, and that's who I communicate with, on a daily basis. So if you guys are doing that, man, God is definitely going to be proud of you, for retaining. He's going to be super proud of you, bro. Like, it's a big step to remove your lust, because we live in such a lustful place. This world is so full of lust, it's ridiculous. So once you do that, you guys, he's going to help transform your thinking. He's going to help, show you that his love, and, honestly, like, once you really get connected with God, I feel like the message is that, our existence is really just between me and us and him, connecting with him and connecting with that love. God is, a lot of people like to say God is love. God is that loving energy that we feel, the joy, that peace. So in turn, it makes us love ourselves, and then we can go and love other people. You know what I'm saying? So when we tap into that love, it helps us realize that, like, that validation, you guys, that we used to, that I used to, take part in. It's a lot of these things, like using social media, posting a lot of things. Guys, I used to post, let me know if you relate, but I used to post a lot of stuff like memes and shit, and I still post pictures of myself, like selfies and things like that, to try to put out good energy and things like that. But I used to post memes just to get people to laugh. I used to post all types of stuff, and the only reason behind it, you guys, is that you want people to react and comment and reply, so you can feel good about yourself, so you can validate yourself. You know what I mean? What else is there? Like, you got to think about it. It's really an empty mission. I mean, you're just making yourself, it's like, it's on us to figure out our self-worth, you know what I'm saying, without other people, because other people are going to have their opinions no matter what, and people are also going to judge you no matter what. So it's a much more sustainable strength, to go to God and to get his validation, instead of like posting all these things on social media, doing all these things for attention. So the alternative is to move in silence, you guys, to talk less about your plans with people, and to more so just figure out what you want to do between you and God, and then execute those plans. It's such a powerful thing that I've learned, because when I really learned this, I was like, oh man, like, it was one of those moments to where it really hit me. I hope that this video can help you guys, but you got to think about it like, even if you are in that train of thought to where like you're thinking about other people and how they view you, which hopefully, the goal is to completely get away from that, you guys, to get away from caring about what other people think. But at the same time, if you do want to influence people and impact other people, with your life, it's going to hit way harder if you can just show them with your actions rather than like your words and with all these things like, oh, look at me, I'm funny, I'm this and that. Look at what I'm doing. Look at this business I'm gonna start. Look at this girl that I just, end up hanging out with. Look at these pair of shoes. Look at this meal that I'm eating. I'm at the freaking Olive Garden or some shit. Look at this plate of pasta. With this garlic bread and shit. And anybody can go to Olive Garden and get that. Why are you flexing that on social media? Just for some quick dopamine reaction from someone to say, oh, nice, that meal is bomb, like, nice, dude. Can't believe you're at the Olive Garden right now. Like, you gotta it's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, now, my new train of thought is, since God has transformed me, it's kind of like I can have a catch. When I notice myself doing that, it's like now God wants me to just enjoy it with Him. Whether, because I still have those moments, you guys, when I'm out and about and I'll see something cool and I want to like snap a picture. Maybe it's something crazy that I see like in public, or some crazy dude, or like some cool experience, something cool that I see, random. There's tons of things hard to come to mind right now, but my old self used to want to like snap a picture or take a video, and post it, and now I have a catch to where I don't do that, and I'm just like, all right, let's just enjoy this between me and God. Let's make this a personal experience. I feel like it lasts longer when you do that, instead of trying to post and tell all these other people about this experience, because at the end of the day, they didn't have that experience, so they don't know what it feels like. Sure, they can give you a reaction, but we got to think about it on a deep level. Why are we doing this? Is because we feel like we don't have, the experience that we're having isn't good enough by itself. Between you and God, it's like you need to share it with other people. So the idea is to get away from that, you guys, to get away from that and to be having it between you and God. You know what I'm saying? Moving in silence. Don't be sharing your plans with people like crazy. I used to do that all the time. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to make this music, and I would share these plans with people before they were even done. And they'd be like, okay, well, like, where is the results? I would never have results. It hits way deeper to where, if you want to present some shit to other people, or share some things, express yourself, share some things with the world, wait until it's finished. Wait until, your actions speak louder than words. That phrase is definitely kind of, it's an older phrase. People think it's cliche, but that's the truth. Actions speak louder than words. We can talk, but what are your actions saying? You know what I mean? So if we can get into this place, you guys, to where we're moving in silence and we're just letting, let it be between you and God, and, moving in silence. Don't be sharing your plans. You're going to influence, if that's your goal, to influence and to help people like me, at least, it's going to hit way harder if you just move in silence, and, keep it between you and God, you guys. Don't be posting all this crazy shit. I just got this new pair of shoes. I just got this new shirt. It's all, we got to think about it on a deeper basis. It's all for validation, because we don't feel good enough inside, what I'm saying, like, just by ourselves. So we need other people to validate us and confirm that what we're doing is cool, or what we just bought is cool, or what we're eating is cool, but we know, why does it matter to other people when it's just about us? You know what I mean? Maybe you like the meal that you're eating, you like the shirt that you just bought, the shoes, like, you think that meme is funny, you think that video is cool. Why do you have to share it with all these people just to get their opinion and their validation? That shows that you lack validation, from your higher power, from God, and from yourself. So the idea is try to get away from that, you guys, and get us into a place where we can move in silence and just, yeah, be more powerful people. Semen retention's got me into this place. Hopefully it does the same for you. But, if you guys have any feedback on this, or you want to comment, let me know if you guys are experiencing this. But it's a very powerful thing to understand, and it's a great way to operate, throughout this matrix, throughout this life that we live in, to be moving in silence, and to stray away from trying to get validation from people. Look at me, look at this, look at all this shit. Like, that just shows that you have a lack of confidence, and you have a lack of power within yourself. So take the power back, you guys. Figure out your own self-worth. Tap in with God, and he'll show you that only validation you need is from him. And being in the present moment, that's really all you need, you guys. That's all of the love and magical essence of life. That's all we need. It's in that present moment, staying present, and just experiencing things as they come. You don't need to share everything with everybody and try to get everybody's validation and opinion. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys got something out of this. Much love. Hope everybody's having a good day on their SR journey. That's the message that I got on this one, guys. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.